Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So once again welcome you all for today's 11th chapter discussion of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So this 11th chapter is something very much thriller, like one of the most thriller chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So are you all ready to experience the thriller? If yes, then please let me know. So chapter 11, the universal form. So we shall be seeing what things we had discussed in previous sessions. These are all things we shall be seeing. Chapter 10 we discussed from first sloka till 7th how Krishna is the origin of all creatures as well as all qualities. In that we saw how we can know Krishna in the proportion of our loving devotion with him. So as much we proceed in the loving devotional attitude, that much only we can know Krishna. Also we saw knowing Krishna's opulence gives freedom from all sins. So Krishna has unlimited opulence, but even though all opulences are unlimited, still Krishna allows his devotees and his of course the living entities to get some clue of his opulences. So just by hearing those opulences and knowing it in the true sense, we get out from so much sin. Then we saw guaranteed engagement in pure devotion service, those who actually know about Krishna's opulence. Then from 10:8 to 10:11, so these are the 4 slokas we saw. These slokas are nothing but gist of whole Bhagavad Gita, and also well famous throughout the world as Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita in just 4 slokas. So in that what we saw? We saw the what is called the substance of whole Vedic body. So whole Vedas are like voluminous like anything. There are humanly accessible Vedic literatures. There are just 1 lakh into 1 lakh slokas. Just 1 lakh into 1 lakh slokas. So can you imagine? So to just go through whole Vedas, it will take 700 years. If we really go through nicely, one by one. We don't have so much time, so much life. But this whole Bhagavad Gita has been put into, whole Veda has been put into Bhagavad Gita. And the whole Bhagavad Gita, the gist of whole Bhagavad Gita is there in this just 4 slokas, which talks about Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. So whole Vedas having only 3 objectives: Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Sambandha means who are we and what is our relationship with Supreme Godhead. So that is called establishment of Sambandha, the relationship. Just knowledge of that. So that's called Sambandha Gyan, the knowledge of relationship. So after that, living entities have been given facility and knowledge in Vedas how to connect that Sambandha, the process, the how. So Sambandha means what, Abhideya means how. Abhideya means how to connect. So there are different processes: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So there is a step by step. So we have seen all the yoga ladder. There we saw that how one by one can go from lower rung of Vedic yoga to lower rung of yoga to higher rung of yoga. Then at last it comes prayojan. Prayojan means you achieve the success. Means you have already got united with Supreme Lord. So these all three things has been discussed in just 4 slokas. There we saw real satisfaction and bliss in devotional service. Also we saw spiritual advancement does not depend upon academic accomplishment. Spiritual advancement doesn't depend upon academic accomplishment. It fully depends upon how seriously we are accepting the knowledge and applying in our life. So Supreme Lord is there in everyone's heart. Whether he is literate or illiterate, whether he is graduate or postgraduate, whether he is PhD or simply, simply like doesn't know anything. Maybe even though he could be in other species than human beings. But if he is serious about knowing the science of Supreme Godhead as well as applying upon in his life, then what happens? The process works. Process works because Supreme Lord is there along with all of us, and he enlightens the heart by himself, and he gives all the knowledge. So then we saw from 12th to 18th sloka Arjuna's affirmation and divine hunger to hear more and more and more. Vaishnavas are the best well-wisher of all, the benchmark of occupational or spiritual advancement in testing the Krishna talk. So there we saw that if somebody is doing his own duty nicely, but if he is not able to get the test in Krishna's talk, means he is actually not advancing. He is actually not advancing in a higher in a higher component. Like he is maybe advancing in the horizontal component, but you don't have any advancement in the vertical component. So that is actually the benchmark of occupational advancement or occupational duties. Anybody, whoever is there in the world, they do so many activities, but for the universal evolution or universal progress in consciousness, the benchmark is test in Krishna's talk. Yeah, so I think, yeah. So at last we saw Krishna describes his unlimited opulences, how he is there, the driving factor or the essential factor of everything in the world. Essential, just like his sunlight of the sun, like he is the sunlight, he is the taste in water. Among all those different things, he is the supermost thing as well as supermost aspect of that thing which actually characterizes that thing, right? So we saw that Krishna tells ultimately that, O Arjuna, my glories and my opulences are unlimited. It's unlimited like anything. Just by a single fragment of myself, I am holding this whole universe. Single fragment. So the whole universe, not only whole universe, but multi universes are just being maintained and run by the influence of small little fractional opulence, fractional portion of Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. So then Arjuna, so Lord Sri Krishna's, Lord Sri Krishna's opulences are unlimited. Lord Krishna, by his partial expansion, holds entire material world. So now let's proceed ahead into 11th chapter. So 11th chapter is also divided into 6 sections. First we will be seeing Arjuna's request Krishna to show his universal form. Then we shall be seeing Lord Krishna describes his universal form from 5th to 8th sloka. Then we shall be seeing 9th till 31st vision of universal form and a thrilling experience. From 32nd till 34th sloka we will be having the thrilling experience of Arjuna. Arjuna is asking, "Oh Lord, who are you? Please tell me that I never seen this type of feature of Supreme Lord. Who are you? Please tell me." Then from 35th till 46th sloka, Arjuna prays, very beautiful prayers. And 47th till 55th sloka, there is mentioned pure bhakti is the prerequisite to envision any form of the Lord. So there are 2 types of form which are going to be discussed in this particular section. That's very, very important to understand that 2 types of form, and to see both of the form we require some qualification, and that is pure bhakti, right? So let's proceed ahead in the first section. First is Arjuna's request Krishna to show his universal form. Why Arjuna is requesting Krishna to show his universal form, that we are also be seeing. Arjuna is glad finding Krishna, who is his dear friend, here the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna says to Krishna that by your merciful instructions, my illusion is over. So in the previous chapter, we have seen that Krishna is telling that I am this, among this I am this. So among animals I am tiger, among aquatics I am Timingala. So I am the sun, and I am the moon. So like this he is telling. So by knowing this, Arjuna is feeling so happy, right? He is able to know that my dear friend, my most dear friend, is Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So he's not feeling any type of enviousness, but he's feeling proud that my friend, with whom I sit, with whom I walk, with whom I roam around, so that person is not just ordinary. So Arjuna, then he tells ahead, Arjuna says further, O Lord, I could know your actual position as well as the appearance and disappearance of the other living entities. So greatest of all personalities, O Supreme Form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that forms of yours. So Arjuna is asking that you have told me that's okay, but I want to see personally with my these eyes that how you are actually manifested yourself into different features. Yeah. So why Arjuna is asking this question to show, Krishna has already given the theory, but he want to see the practical. So there are two main reasons for Arjuna to ask for the vision of Viswarup. What is that? So first one is, in order to convince others about Krishna's position, who may think Krishna to be any ordinary person. So Krishna has already told himself that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in future, so many people may just point out that how Krishna has just told. I could also say. There are so many people, they keep claiming themselves to be God. So that's why, to convince all the people, those who are going to come after Krishna's Arjuna's talk in the future, like we are the people for whom it is actually intended to. So for all of us to understand that Krishna's position is actually Supreme Person of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in order to convince others about Krishna's position, who may think Krishna to be any ordinary person. And second is, Arjuna wants to see the universal form of the Lord, so that Lord, to set the criterion for in the future there would be so many imposters who would pose themselves as the incarnation of God. Yeah. So we see in India specifically, because India is also well known in the West as to a factory of God. India is called to be a factory of God. Every year, every decade, there are some few number of gods that keep emerging in India. And they keep claiming that I am God, now you worship me. I am incarnation of Supreme Godhead Krishna. And also they say that I am Kalki Avatar and so and so. So Arjuna wanted that if Lord Sri Krishna can show the universal form, then nobody else will be there, like imposter, who will be keep claiming themselves to be God. But if they are not able to show their universal form, then they are false. They are already proved to be false. So in the future, there would be so many imposters who would pose themselves as incarnation of God. So to stop them doing this all mockery and hypocritical activities, Arjuna wanted Krishna to show so mercifully his Viswarupa. So life lesson for all of us is, we must know to distinguish between Supreme Personality of Godhead and the imposters. A proper devotee of Lord Krishna must defeat the imposters and bust their nonsense dramas. Yeah. So this is life lesson for all of us. We must know to distinguish between Supreme Personality of Godhead and the imposters. So there could be many imposters, but those who have the real knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, they cannot be tricked by those imposters. They cannot be cheated by those imposters. Rather, those who are proper devotee they actually fight against these imposters and prove them that they are actually false. Yeah. So one of the great devotee in the line of acharyas coming down from Brahma Madhva Gauri Sampradaya, we have coming emerging in late 19th century, one great acharya, his divine grace Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this person was a great devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. He is great grand spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, to whom you know, most of you. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in British time, somewhere in 1886 or some around. So he was a British time. He was a district magistrate, and in his time there were so many different types of avatars keep coming. Different avatar. So I am Karano Dakshaya Vishnu's avatar. One person has, and he has actually mystic powers. He was such a great tantric that just by his mere nodding of his head, flames used to come out from his ears. And he was claiming that I have descended to uproot Britishers from India. Because in every avatar comes to uproot some adharmic elements. So he was claiming like that. But he was actually also blaspheming the true form of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Kedarnath Datta, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, another's name, he went and he challenged that person. He told that, why you are cheating people like this? You come and surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. You come to Jagannath Puri. Yes. Yeah. I request devotee. Yeah. Claim. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he went ahead and he told that stop this hypocritical business. Then he go and surrender to Lord Jagannath Swami in Puri. Yeah. So Jagannath is there. So he told no that Jagannath is simply a log of food. So he is not God. So like that he told. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur arrested him and he put him into jail because he was a magistrate. And he just after 4 days he just removed shaven his head, just like me, right? So as soon as his head was shaven, all his power finishes. Because it is told that the power of all those tantrics are actually in the hairs. So all that get finished, and after just 1 and 2 days he simply dies. So like this we see there are many imposters that keep coming. But true servants of Supreme God, true servants of Supreme Personality of Godhead has this mission to establish the supremacy of Supreme Godhead, and that actually gives a lot of immense pleasure to the Supreme Godhead. So that's the life lesson for all of us. Let's see ahead. So Arjuna, the humble soul, text 4. Mannase yadi tachhakyam maya drashtum iti prabho yogeshwara tato me tvam darsayatman namavyam. So Arjuna is asking, if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal form. So Arjuna is not demanding that now I am Arjuna, please show me God, please show me that you are God. No, he is not challenging. He is asking very humbly, if you think that I am eligible, please let me see your universal form. So that is the difference between a devotee and a challenging spirit personality who can never come closer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Supreme God cannot be put into in order of anyone, any mortal. Supreme God can only be achieved by humble surrender and service. So we see from 5th sloka till 8th sloka, now in the second section, that how Lord Sri Krishna describes his universal form. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashah Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of very divine and multicolored forms. O best of Bharatas, See here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all other demigods. Behold my wonderful things, which no one has ever seen or heard of before. Yeah. So he tells, "O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non moving is here completely in one place." Wow, this is amazing. So, this is all the concept. This is the concept, this is the thing from where the modern scientists they get the concept what's time machine. Yeah. So Supreme Lord is going to show Arjuna at one place everything whatever he is able to see. What type of technology is that? And this is called a spiritual technology. And there is nothing to do with this all mechanical technology here. So Supreme Lord want Arjuna to see, then he can show that at one place. And that too, he can show what is going to come in future. So because Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is Supreme Master, Supreme Controller, he can manipulate space as well as he can manipulate time. So time and space is actually under his control. He can expand the time for himself and for his devotees. He can make one day to be like 12 years and more, and he can expand the space as well as he contract the space. So here what we are able to see, that is the divine opulence, divine mystical opulence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now Arjuna is going to get his divine eyes. But you cannot see me with your present eyes, therefore I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Yeah. So now section 3, universal form, Viswarup to Arjuna and his thrilling experience. Let's go to thriller. So from 10 to 11, what Arjuna is seeing, wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garments, and many divine saints were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. If hundreds and thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So the universal form was so much like effulgent that Arjuna was not able to see also. Like hundreds and thousands of suns, if they emerge at once, what will happen? What will the situation? So that much of radiance was there in the universal form. Tatraikastham jagat krishnam pravi bhaktam anekadha apashya deva devasya sharire pandavastada. At that time Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, all the divided into many thousands. So although these all the manifestations in universes, in one particular universe, are actually spread throughout the whole universe, we cannot see by these eyes, but Arjuna was able to see all things at one place, right? He's able to see that how everything is expanding through his divine eyes. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances, and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. So Arjuna's further experience. So what Arjuna is saying, my dear Lord Krishna, what I am able to see, I am able to see in your body all the demigods. I am able to see Lord Shiva, Brahma sitting on the lotus flower. Then I am able to see all the great 7 sages who came in the beginning of creation, all the divine serpents. I see many arms. I see bellies, mouth, eyes, like unlimited bellies, unlimited mouths, and unlimited eyes of yours. I see no end, no middle, and no beginning. So there is nothing called something which is devoid of God. Everywhere, everything is actually manifestations of Supreme Godhead. So difficult to see, your form is difficult to see because of glaring effulgence, seeing glowing forms everywhere, radiance is spreading in all sides. So now in the prayer of Arjuna starts from here. Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam tvamasya vishwasya param nidhanam tvamavvaya shashvata dharma gopta sanatanastvam purusho mato me. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all the universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. So according to Arjuna, supreme primal objective is Sri Krishna. In our life, there are so many objectives, but there must be the primal objective, right? We have so many objectives. Somebody has to get job, somebody has to get a promotion, somebody has to get this and that. So many stuff we keep putting in our objective day-to-day life. But if we do not put Krishna to be our objective, then life is simply wasted. This is called primal objective. So you are the ultimate because he is the ultimate resting place and he is actually Param Nidhanam. So then Arjuna goes ahead. Anadi madhyanantam virya mananta bahum shashi surya netram pashyami tvam dipta huta shavaktram swatejasha vishwamidam tapantam. You are without origin, middle or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms and the sun and the moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Dyava prithivyoridam hi vyaptam tavaikena dishascha sarvah drishtvaddadbhutam rupamudagram tavedam lokatrayam pravyathitam mahatman. Although you are one, Supreme God is one, but you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. Ami hitvam surishanga vishanti kechid bhita pranjalayo grinanti swastik maharshi siddha sangha stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhi. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings crying, all peace, Shanti, Shanti, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. Rudraditya Vashavo Ye Cha Sadhya Vishve Ashwino Marutaschosma Pascha Gandharve Yaksha Asura Siddha Sangha Vikchante Tvam Vismitaschaiva Sarve. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vashus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, the two Aswini Kumaras, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, the perfected demigods, beholding you in wonder. Rupam Mahatte Bahubhaktranetram Mahabaho Bahu Bahu Rupapadam Bahudaram Bahudranshtra Karalam Drishtva Loka Pravitas Tathaham. O mighty armed one, all the planets with the demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thigh, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. So they are disturbed. All the demigods are disturbed, seeing this universal form. So this universal form, when it was shown, it was not only shown to Arjuna. There are some number of people that were able to see on the planet Earth, and all those demigods, all those yakshas, charanas, vidyadharas, in the higher planetary system, they were also able to see. Navasprisham diptamaneka varnam vyattananam dipta vishalanetram drishtva hi tvam pravyathitantaratma dhritim navindami shamam cha Vishnu. All pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance. Seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth, In all directions, I am bewildered. So Arjuna, situation is this. In this way, fearful situation is praying. Arjuna is seeing future consequences of war at one place. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouths. Shh! And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So this is the heading is here. The first time machine experience Arjuna is getting here. Where everything what's going to happen in the future, Krishna is showing that in just like some days before, right? So all those people, Dhritarashtra's, all the sons, Drona, Karna, Bhishma, they are like invincible warriors. Nobody in the world, practically even demigods, Indra, Chandra, and why you forget about great generals, even Parshuram type of warrior also were defeated by Bhishma. They all are going to be dashed. All are going to be killed into this war. So that Krishna is showing that how they are all going into the dead-like mouth of that Virat Roop of Shri Krishna. How they are going as the many waves of the rivers flows into the ocean. So do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouth. Just like so many different moths in the rainy season, early rainy season, they get attracted toward blazing fire, and after some few minutes, they are all finished. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moth dash to destruction in a blazing fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rain. O Lord of the Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. Who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So Arjuna is asking here, out of great fear, that who are you? Because before I had been understanding you to be one of my friend, one of my most dear friend. So I want to know you, that who are you and what is your mission? So he's not talking about that Krishna, his friend Krishna, but he's talking about Virat Purusha Krishna. So Krishna's manifestation is Virat Rupa. So, and he's asking also what is his mission. So in this section 4, we are going to see who is actually Viswarup and what is Krishna's answer. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kaloshmi Lokchaya Krit Pravriddho Lokan Samahartum Miha Pravrittah Ritepi Tvam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Yo Yevasthita Pratyanikeshu Yodha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you Pandavas, all the soldiers here on the both sides will be slain. So, Supreme Godhead is also the Kal, the time. Kal is not something like, no, it's a dreadful personality, but Kal is the time. It's well known in India specifically. What is the meaning of Kal? Means time. So time actually finishes everything. All the great influential people, all their influences get over by the course of time. Right? Everything is changed by time. So Supreme God is always existing in this universe as time. That's why Srila Prabhupada tells that, surrender unto Krishna, that loving Krishna is so beautiful, so charming, so loving. If you do not surrender to that Krishna, then Krishna will come. Krishna has another aspect. Krishna has another identity as Kala, the time. And he will come at the time of death and will take you and will take all your money, all your bank balance, all your prestige, and boom, finishes. Now you will understand Krishna. So Krishna actually is there in this universe in the form of time for those who are actually non-believers. And they keep dying life after life, they keep getting so many sufferings because of only one reason, that they have forgotten the lost relationship. They have forgotten the relationship with Sri Krishna. That loving relationship they have forgotten. So that's why they have to counter the deadly form of Sri Krishna, that's called Kala at the time. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory, conquer your enemies, and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can we put an instrument in the fight? Yeah. So it's very, very important to understand this particular shloka. Everything is already done, but still Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight. Right? And he's telling that nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. You just become my instrument, that's it. So in our day-to-day activities also we plan so many things, we think that we'll do this, we'll do that. But actually things are actually going to take place, but we are just like instrument. Now, we are not the person who actually doing it. Things are getting done, we have concepted it, and that conception, what we have got that we are going to do in the future, that is also given by Supreme God. Yeah, according to our culture of our cultivation, according to mode, in what mode we are in, we get that type of aspirations, that type of desires, and that they are going to get fulfilled. So we are just like instrument in the hand of Sri Krishna. So in this way, we must proceed ahead in our occupational career as well as constitutional career. Constitutional career means devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that so everything is done. You just need to just take Gandiva bow and just start shooting arrows, and everything is already done. You see, everything is already done. No, if you do not fight also, they are already killed. If you do not fight, then they are already killed. I will kill them. I have just appeared here to remove the burden of the earth, Mother Earth. So, just become my instrument, O Arjuna. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, the all great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So, Krishna is not telling that, no, Arjuna, they already killed, no, you can go and take rest. You go and sleep. No. Krishna has done everything. Everything is actually done by Krishna, but still we have to do our duties. We have to do our activities for the pleasure of the Lord. That's Krishna want. For by the Krishna's great slumber as Mahavishnu, he is actually running the whole show of universal cosmic manifestation. He is running that spontaneously. But we get chance into this universal show to again revive our lost Krishna consciousness or lost relationship with the Lord. So for just to facilitate that, Krishna has made arrangement for our activities. You do some activities, but while doing that activities, we can actually make our relationship once again. We can reinstate our relationship with Sri Krishna. So that's why these activities are very much required. All that activities that could be offered, the results of those activities could be offered to Sri Krishna. In this way, we can again revive our lost relationship. Otherwise, Krishna would have told us to go and sleep. Right? So, Arjuna is telling, O Master of Senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your names. And thus, everyone becomes attached to you. Yeah, this is the thing why the whole universe has been created, Arjuna is telling. In India, there is one song, Duniya banane wale kahe ko duniya banai. Oh Supreme Lord, why did you make this world? Why did you make this whole world? Everybody are anyway going to die. Everything anyway going to get annihilated. So what is the use of making that? So that is actually objective of this universal creation. What? Sthane rishikesata prakirtaya jagat prarishyata narujjate cha rakshansi bhitani disho dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. So people will be able to chant the names of Supreme Lord. The world becomes joyful upon hearing your name. And thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Yeah. So, O great one, greater even that from Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes. the transcendental to this material manifestation. So Arjuna is feeling confused that why Supreme Lord is well known to everyone, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, everybody should know him, but why still people are in confusion? Why people are not able to offer his obeisances unto the Supreme Lord? So, O limitless one, he is telling, O Ananta, Ananta Devesa Jagannivasa, you are actually the place, you are actually the host, or you are actually the residing place for whole universes. And in this way, why people are so illusioned that they are not able to pay you obeisances? Tamadideva Purusha Purana, Tamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam, Vettasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vishwamananta Rupam. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are the all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge over the material modes, all limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Yeah. So there is only one thing that's called that to be known at last, and that is Krishna. If Krishna is known, then everything is known. Yasyam vigyatam sarvam evam vigyatam bhavanti. By knowing Krishna, everything is known. So you are the knower of everything, and if somebody knows you, then he also knows everything. Yeah. So then Arjuna goes ahead praying. You are air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, and you are the moon, you are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadav, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together. Sometimes alone, sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all these offenses. Yeah. So Krishna and Arjuna are the very best friends, right? And while having this relationship of such a close friendship, sometimes friends they mock other friend. So Arjuna was sometimes telling, "Oh Krishna, you are Yadav." Yadav means he is actually means inferior to Arjuna. Arjuna is actually from Kuru dynasty, and Yadava kings were subordinate to Kuru dynasty kings from Hastinapur. So he was sometimes mocking, "You are Yadav, or you are my just friend." So like this, he is asking forgiveness. I have told you many times. I thought you to be like inferior of me, and we have laid on the same bed many times. We ate together in the same thali. So I was never knowing that you are Supreme Godhead. So today I am able to know your real glories. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the unmoving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of the immeasurable power? You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. Yeah. So in this way he is asking forgiveness. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of the Lords, O abode of universe. So in this way he is fully disturbed. Arjuna is fully confused seeing this universal form. He is telling, please reveal your most beautiful form as you were seen before. Proceed, please be pleased, and please show me that beautiful form of personality of Godhead. Please show me first this 400 form, O universal form, O thousand-armed one, O thousand-armed Lord. I wish to see you in your 4-armed forms, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Yeah. So we see there are two types of uh, vision. Somebody like to see the Lord like so much powerful, massive, universal form. But Arjuna is not ready to see that. Arjuna is not, expecting to keep seeing that form. He want to see the 400 most beautiful form. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form. So first he want to see Krishna as four-armed form, then he want to see in the two-armed form. So here from 47 to 55, we will be seeing how bhakti is the prerequisite to see any form of the Lord. So Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Supreme Personality Godhead said, My dear Arjun, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. O best of Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by past activities, nor by civil penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. So, now you have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. So then Sanjay tells to Dhritarashtra, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. The four-armed form and the two-armed form. So see how beautiful four-armed form, two-armed forms are. So which is so much pleasing to Arjuna. So Arjuna is telling, Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form. He said, O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind. I am restored to my original nature. Supreme Personality Godhead says, My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. So we see Krishna's two-hand form is more exalted than universal form. Here Krishna is proving this. So when Krishna has already showed his two-hand form, so then he is telling the Sudur Darshamidam. He is telling, before that universal form was shown, in that Krishna is telling this form cannot be seen by different types of yagyas, tapa and different all those abilities. But even more rare form is to see and behold this two-armed form. This is so beautiful. And this form, even demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. So, universal form is Durdarsham. Durdarsha means very difficult to see. And two-armed form is Sudurdarsha, means too much difficult to see. Yeah. So, only devotees of high caliber, the highest caliber, are able to see, appreciate and love the two-armed form. That's actually far greater than the universal form. Yeah. So now let's go ahead. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by this means that one can see me as I am. So two-hand form of Krishna is actually original form of Krishna, from where expands four-hand forms, and from there expands all those different forms. So that's why Krishna is telling that this particular form, my two-hand form, the original form, is actually also not be visible, not so nice, so easily seen by all these credentials, studying the Vedas, undergoing serious penances, charity, and all that stuff. How it is visible, how it can be seen? By devotion, by devotional service only, and there is no other qualification. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya ahamevam vidhu Arjuna Gyatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am. That's very important. Undivided devotional service means devotional service only to Krishna. It's not like some devotion to this Devi, some devotion to that Deva, some devotion to this person, some devotion to that person. No. Undivided devotional service. By this only Krishna could be understood in the true form, the most original form of two-handed form. Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam, that Muralidhar Sri Krishna can only be approached by undivided devotional service. So that's Krishna is again reaffirming here. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Only by devotional service. My dear Arjun, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of fruitive activities, mat karma, krin mat paramo. So he's telling that who has understood to be my, who has understood me to be like topmost. There is no further better objective than me. For that person who is free from fruitive activities and contaminations of mental speculation, he who works for me, he who works for me, right? So some people, working is very important. All of us, we work. But somebody work for boss, somebody work for wife, somebody works for husband, somebody works for this and somebody works for that. So Krishna is telling, work for me. So what does it mean? So we cannot work for other people. If you're working for Krishna, then all other things are already included. But intention to work for Krishna is the only thing which can actually bring one closer to Krishna. Otherwise not. So who makes me the supreme goal of his life? Supreme goal of his life. The goal of life should be Krishna. So many people have so many goals. In our childhood, we have been put and we have been asked by our parents, our relatives that, oh beta, what you will become in the future? So somebody is saying, I will become engineer. Somebody says, I will become doctor. Somebody says, I will become MBA. But these are actually not the ultimate goal of life, right? So ultimate goal of life for every living entity should be to know Krishna with devotion. And that is actually the ultimate destination of his. And that is the actually purpose of this universal creation. And that gets fulfilled when one understands Krishna as it is, as he is. Then in this way he directly comes to Sri Krishna. So we are at the end of our today's session. Summary of chapter 11. What we saw throughout the session. We saw in the first section how Krishna establishes his position. To establish Krishna's position, Arjuna is asking Krishna to show his universal form. And the second reason, to shut the imposters' shops. Yeah. So many imposters, they are of course going to come in future. Of course, future is very long. Kali Yuga is more 4,27,000 years balance. So more of this type of imposters will keep coming. To shut them up, Arjuna wanted to see universal form. Lord Sri Krishna describes universal form. Krishna gives Arjuna the divine vision. Then after that we saw that how Krishna is the master of yogis. Arjuna's thrilling experience and what is going to take place in just 18 days, that Arjuna is able to see right there before time. So then Arjuna prays, he glorifies Sri Krishna, then he pays obeisances from front, from the back, from the sides. Many obeisances. Then he asks for forgiveness. Please forgive me because of familiarity. Familiarity breeds contempt. But in the case of Arjuna and Krishna, they were so much close. They actually they are eternal friends. Wherever Krishna goes, Arjuna also goes, as Narayana, as Krishna and Arjuna. So we see Arjuna is fearful and asking forgiveness from Krishna. Arjuna's humble request to wind up universal form. He tells that, please wind up. I am not able to behold such a horrific form of yours. Please reveal your most beautiful 400 form and then most beautiful 200 form. And that could only be seen by devotion to Supreme Godhead. So work for Krishna. Ultimately Krishna tells, work for me. Mat karma. Make Krishna the goal of your life. Make Krishna your goal of life. Please note these all three things down. Make friendship with all living entities. In this way, if we have this objective fulfilled in our life, then we can be friend of all the living entities. Otherwise, not. Yeah. So we have to work for Krishna. We have to make our life's goal also to be Krishna. So thank you so much. So here we end our discussion of 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. So, yes, so if you have any question and query, you can proceed ahead. Sujay Mandal Prabhu has asked, what is the meaning of Sabyasachi? Yeah. Sabyasachi means a person whose determination never go, determination never go in vain. Yeah, Sabyasachi. Sabyasachi means amog. Amog means his determination will be surely going to work out. So he is Sabyasachi. Yeah. So Arjuna takes vows like anything, and Krishna guarantees that whatever Arjuna takes the vow, he fulfills that. So that's because of his devotion. That's why devotees become so powerful, because Krishna is always there with them, and whatever actually desires they take for the glorification and pleasure of Supreme Lord, and Krishna makes sure that all those vows and all the desires of the devotees gets fulfilled. Yeah, so they also become Sabyasachi. Okay, so thank you so much all of you for being part of this today's session. If you have any further question query, you can also put in the WhatsApp group if you are not able to speak out here, or else you can speak out also here. Anything if you need to clear out any confusion, question, query. Okay, so it's over to you, Soma Prabhu. Hare Krishna, if you are there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can ask questions now, Prabhu, or else they will put in the group.
Yeah. Hopefully there is no further question. I am not able to see in the chat box.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah, so
So you
if
can put in the
anyone has
WhatsApp
any
group.
questions, they can put
All
in
of you.
the
Thank you.
group.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.